bring in April Ryan. She's a White House correspondent and Washington bureau chief for the American Urban Radio Networks. If you were watching the press conference, you saw April stand and ask a question of the president about urban areas and inner cities and what would be his, April, I think you said, what would be your urban agenda, or words to that effect. I don't know if we have the tape of that. Do we have tape of that, guys? We do. Why don't we play it, and then April, I'll ask you more about it. This is what happened.
Great. Are you going to include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as...
Am I going to include
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus?
Well, I would. I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
I'm just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's go set up a meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great, the Congressional Black Caucus. I think it's great.
April, were you surprised by that response?
Yes. I am not a facilitator. I'm not a convener. I am a White House correspondent. I am a reporter, a journalist. But I can say this. Many of the CBC members have contacted me since that question and answer. They are very eager to meet with this president on the issues, his urban agenda that they deal with on a daily basis. I was just talking to one congressperson who was talking about on the Hill how they were dealing with issues of SNAP and how they had to figure out if kids will get sugary drinks or not anymore through SNAP. So there are a lot of issues that are going on. He talked about crime in Chicago. He talked about housing. He talked about a lot of different issues that affect the urban community. But then there's a piece, the Historically Black Colleges and Universities executive order that's expected to come out later this month. Well, no, not this hour, this month, later this month. An executive order that's coming out this month. And
can I stop you for a second? I thought he was saying that he was going to sign something this afternoon that had to do with...
No, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. But what's happening is there will be an executive order later this month on HBCUs. And what we're hearing is that they're going to take the HBCU initiative out of the purview of the Department of Education and place it under the purview of the White House. And they're going to build out some kind of office around that. Now, the CBC is very concerned about that. They feel that they've carried the ball on that for many years, and they should be involved in these issues as well. So I would be very interested in watching the meeting and reporting on the meeting. And if the president would like to have me in the meeting to report, that would even be good. But I will not, as a reporter, I would like to sit there and see what they're saying. But I will not convene, facilitate, nothing.
Yeah, April, let me bring in Roland Martin, who's sitting next to me, chomping to get in.
A couple of things here. First of all, Black Republicans desperately want Trump to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus because President Obama did not meet with the Black Caucus for an entire year.
And for people who don't know out there what the CBC is, it's a group of members of Congress.
We're African American. They're actually the largest group of the Democratic caucus in terms of 49 members. That's first.
Yeah. But they're not all Democrats.
Not all Democrats. Mia Love out of Utah is a member. Will Hurd is Tim Scott. Will Hurd, congressman from Texas, not a member. Senator Tim Scott, not a member as well. But here's the other thing. Congressman G.K. Butterfield, former chairman, said that they've discussed meeting with him, have not formalized the position. Congressman Cedric Richmond is the new CBC chair. After a swearing-in ceremony, Omarosa Manigault, who is senior advisor to Trump, was at the swearing-in, and they have not made that decision yet. But again, a lot of Black Republicans want him to meet with them because they want to be able to say he met with them sooner than President Obama did. That's sort of part of their strategy, and so we'll see exactly what happens there. I don't know if he wants to take their questions, though.
April?
But I think Roland is right, but I think it's more so about the issues on the table, because I've talked to people like Congressman Elijah Cummings, who President Trump did talk about in that meeting. You know, the congressman was wanting to talk about issues of the high price of prescription drugs, but he also wanted to talk about issues of voter fraud that the president was talking about, but issues of voter suppression that the Black community has dealt with. There are so many issues on the table, and there are so many concerns about the prior rhetoric before this president came into office, and they want to work with him on issues that pertain to the Black community, because we are still a community with the highest numbers of negatives in almost every category. So it is important and imperative that the voices are meeting with the president.
But Maxine Waters has made it clear she will not be at any meeting with Donald Trump.
Right, out of principle, she said that.